Alexander Vasilyevich Sergeychik, Belarusian. Cyrillic capital letter E, Cyrillic small letter L, Cyrillic small letter Y, Cyrillic small letter K, Cyrillic small letter S, Cyrillic small letter E, Cyrillic small letter EN, Cyrillic small letter T, Cyrillic small letter E, Cyrillic small letter ER, Cyrillic capital letter V, Cyrillic small letter E, Cyrillic small letter S, Cyrillic small letter Belarusian Ukrainian 1, Cyrillic small letter L, Cyrillic small letter soft sign, Cyrillic small letter I, Cyrillic small letter V, Cyrillic small letter Belarusian Ukrainian 1, Cyrillic small letter Ch, Cyrillic capital letter S, Cyrillic small letter Y, Cyrillic small letter ER, Cyrillic small letter G, Cyrillic small letter I, Cyrillic small letter short 1, Cyrillic small letter Ch, Cyrillic small letter Yeru, Cyrillic small letter K, B. 1970, D. November 26, 2007, was a Belarusian serial killer. He committed murders between 2000 and 2006 in Sergeychik district and Grodno district. He confessed to killing a total of 12 people. However, the investigation could only bring forward enough evidence to convict him of 6 murders. He was sentenced to death by the court. Early life. Sergeychik was born in 1970 and he was born in Semyonovka village, Byarastavitsa district, BSSR, in a large family. He had a brother and a sister. Sergeychik's father was an alcoholic who often beat his wife and children, and then completely abandoned the family for another woman. Sergeychik graduated from the Makrovskaya Secondary School. Later, he attended vocational school to be a driver. From 1989 to 1991, he served in the armed forces of the USSR before he was demobilized in November 1991. After the demobilization, he returned to his native village, where he worked as a driver for a local enterprise. In March 1992, he saw an announcement about recruitment for the police, where he applied for a position. Sergeychik graduated with honors from the Ministry of the Interior Academy of the Republic of Belarus, married, and had 2 children. He worked as a company commander of the Grodno District Department. In the workplace, he was described as a responsible and executive worker. At the time of his arrest, he had the rank of senior police lieutenant. Crime. Sergeychik committed his first crime on September 18, 1992, having stolen a trailer on the collective farm October, after which he began to break into garages, stealing cars and other property. He stole a carbine, a Walter PP pistol and several dummy grenades. In 14 years, Sergeychik stole property worth $900,000. He committed his first murder in April 2000, when he picked up 21-year-old Helen Boltak as a traveling companion, driving her 76 kilometers in the Sergeychik district forest, where he drank a bottle of alcohol prepared beforehand. They engaged in sexual intercourse, and when she lost consciousness, he strangled her, doused her with gasoline and lit her on fire after taking her jewelry and cash. In June 2000, Sergeychik came to the apartment of his 31-year-old mistress, Svetlana Pirskaya. According to his confession, after a quarrel with her about divorcing his wife, in a fit of anger and under the influence of alcohol, he strangled her with a TV cable, then staged her suicide by hanging her in the bathroom, after which he took all the cash from the apartment that he could find. In late July 2000, after acquainting himself with 19-year-old Lyudmila Kodik, he took her out on the pretext of checking out the Neman River, where he drank alcohol with the victim, engaged in sex with her, beat her severely, strangled her with a rope prepared in advance and dropped her body into the river. After that, Sergeychik robbed her and burgled her apartment. In 2001, Sergeychik assaulted several detainees arrested for drinking alcohol in public places. His next murder was in September 2002. He worked with an accomplice, his 18-year-old nephew Dmitry Barkov. Initially, the criminals drove a car several hours along the streets of Grodno, unsuccessfully searching for a suitable victim. They drove out of town, where they saw a VAZ 2106 Zhiguli parked near the roadside. Sergeychik and Barkov, armed with Alexander's pistol, approached the car. Sergeychik knocked on the driver's door, after which he demanded that the driver, Viktor Sergeychik, hand over the keys to the car, presenting his service certificate. The driver was shot in the head through the windshield, but survived. Then Sergeychik and Barkov dragged Sergeychik out of the car and beat him to death. The passenger was Cyrenitsa Elena Turchenik. She tried to escape, but Barkov caught her, beat her and dragged her to his car. The criminals then took turns raping her, before Sergeychik strangled her with a cable. They robbed the victims, tied the corpses with a car cable and left them in the car trunk. In November 2003, Sergeychik, while on duty, beat up a detainee in the workplace and used a gas canister against him, as a result of which he had to call for an ambulance, but the case was ignored. In February 2005, Sergeychik, in a state of intoxication, quarreled with his wife and came to his friend's mistress Natalia Basis. Earlier his friend and Sergeychik drank alcohol at her apartment. After several hours Sergeychik returned to the apartment, where he beat up the landlady, then raped her, strangling her with her bra and leaving the corpse in the bathroom. He burgled the apartment and fled the scene. Arrest and trial after Basis murder, her friends were investigated, including Sergeychik. By that time he had resigned from Internal Affairs. He was summoned for interrogation, since his fingerprints were found on the fragments of a bottle that he had broken on Basis' head. Sergeychik tried to deny any connection to the murder, but began to get confused during the testimony and came under suspicion. After the police searched his apartment and garages, items stolen from Kodak's apartment were located, in addition to an arsenal of weapons and other stolen property. In February 2006, the former policeman was charged with 2 murders and robberies, for which he was imprisoned. Soon he was charged with 4 more murders, based on traces of his DNA at the crime scenes. Sergeychik began to confess, admitting to the murders of 11 women and 1 man. In addition to the proven crimes, Sergeychik confessed to the murders of Olga Goroshchuk, Olga Shor, Elena Runets, Yulia Yatsishina, Gulnara Azizova and Alexandra Korned. He confessed that all of them were raped and killed, then either burned or dropped into the Neyman. The bodies were never found, so the accusations of these murders were not brought against him. Psychiatrists concluded that the serial killer was sane. The trial of Alexander Sergeychik and Dmitry Barkov began on February 20, 2007, in a closed court. Sergeychik was accused of committing murders with special cruelty to conceal another crime from hooligan motives, rape, theft of property, including theft of firearms, illegal carrying, storage, transportation of firearms, ammunition, explosives and explosive devices. On May 22, 2007, Sergeychik was found guilty of all charges, and sentenced to an exceptional penalty by the Grodno District Court, death through execution with confiscation of all his property. Dmitry Barkov was sentenced to 10 years in a penal colony. The Supreme Court of the Republic of Belarus left the verdict unchanged. On November 26, 2007, the verdict was carried out. Consequences for the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Sergeychik's arrest led to a scandal in the law enforcement bodies. On October 28, 2007, President Alexander Lukashenko signed Decree No. 540, on incomplete service compliance, for violations of the lawfulness and inaction of this case to strict disciplinary responsibility. According to the Prosecutor General of Belarus Peter Miklashevich, a number of employees of the Ministry of Internal Affairs and prosecutors have been recruited from the General Prosecutor's Office to the regional district levels. As a result, the first deputy head of the Ministry of Internal Affairs RB Alexander Shcherko was warned. Reprimands were given to the State Secretary of the Security Council Viktor Shimon, Interior Minister Vladimir Naumov, his deputies Viktor Filistovich and Viktor Zhyberdovich, Deputy Prosecutor General Stepan Kosuka and Viktor Prus, Strict reprimands were given to the former head of the Internal Affairs Directorate of the Grodno Oblast Executive Committee, and the deputy of the House of Representatives Anatoly Balashevsky, the former first deputy head of the Internal Affairs Director Viktor Zherbilo, the former heads of the Grodno Regional Administration of the Okhrana Association under MVD Vladimir Pekarsky and Ivan Zmershchik. The former first deputy minister of Internal Affairs Mikhail Yudovikov was deprived of his firearms. On October 31, 2007, the prosecutor of the Grodno region Vasily Litvinov, his deputy Vladimir Onishko and the prosecutor of the Oktyabrski district of the city of Grodno, Boris Taranko, were relieved from their posts. See also Mikhail Popkov. References